Welcome to today's podcast. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Welcome to Rising with the Tide. I am your host, Andrew Chow, and I have gone from being a jobless addict with no future to now being able to run a multi-seven-figure business. And I'm here to share with you everything that I've learned. And today we are talking about how we messed up. We have messed up and how we are planning to fix it. So before we get into today, as always, if you guys are just tuning in, drop some fire in the comments below. Let me know that you are watching. If you're catching this on the replay, hashtag replay. Second podcast at the Penthouse. The one earlier over the weekend was actually in the kitchen. I actually want to do more of those where I can actually do the podcast on my laptop and just carry the mic. However, I think my laptop isn't good enough. It's a little bit slow. It came up a bit laggy, but I appreciate you guys joining. If you guys are watching this on Instagram, it's hard for you to see what's behind me, the open views. If you guys are catching us on Facebook, which I think is the best platform to watch it, because you're watching widescreen, you get to see how beautiful this place is. If you're following me on my story, you would see this is an incredible place. We're very, very grateful. And we're back on YouTube as well. So I've been recording over the last few days, going to put it together, aiming to get 2 or 3 videos out for you guys each week. Highly valuable, very similar to this, what you're getting on the podcast. But I'm kind of taking you through my day in the life of a 7-figure coach, if you will. And I really want to make things interesting because I feel like we're at a point right now where life is pretty interesting. We're going through a lot. And that's exactly what we're going to share with you. The good, the bad, the uglies, all the lessons that I've learned so you can take this away. And today we're talking about how we messed up. For those of you guys who don't know, who are new, I also run an appointment setter agency. Agency sounds like a really fancy term. Really, it's an extension of our current team right now. We have a really good process where we recruit, train, and place appointment setters for other fitness coaches. We're open to doing it for other coaches, but right now I want to specialize in one thing before we expand out. And to give you a bit of context, over the last month, we made around 50K cash collected across 12 or so clients, and everything has been really smooth. There's been 2 situations where we need to replace the setter. It happens, which is why we provide that guarantee. But more specifically today, we got a coach onboarded and he was happy on that call. And about an hour later, sent me a text message expressing that he was not impressed, wasn't happy with the setter that we had placed. And immediately, I just wanted to listen and I wanted to understand him and not be defensive and really just hear his feedback. Because I think that feedback is a really great opportunity for us to learn and grow, because it's so easy for you to look at things from one perspective, which is your own. But being able to see things from an outside perspective is how you're going to be able to grow. You see things that you can't see because you cannot read the prescription label from inside the bottle. You can't see the back of your eyeballs. So being able to receive feedback is, if you care about growth and actually getting better and improvement, is the best thing that you can hear. And what most people chase is what? They chase compliments. And when they don't get compliments, they don't get the validation, they feel disheartened, they feel demotivated. Now, of course, there is a time and place to get that feedback to know you're heading in the right direction. But for the most part, if you do want to grow, hearing constructive feedback or criticism is going to be the best thing for you. And so the feedback he got was, he felt maybe there's a bit of buyer's remorse. He wasn't able to see the value in him doing the recruitment process himself versus what we do. They weren't up to the standard. So first off, before I even provide any commentary, I wanted to hear him completely from ground zero up, without arguing, without trying to debate or defend, absorb. And so I tried to reach out to him, jumped into a call. He was driving. We made it work. I canceled one of my calls just so I can be on top of it right away. So speed to engagement, interaction when these things happen are very important. It shows how serious and how committed you are. And I'm absolutely serious. For me, it's not just about making money. For me, it's about creating the highest quality service that you possibly can. And when you do that, the value will be there. And so there's obviously a gap in something that we haven't done, or something that is missing, and I need to understand what that is to scope and to figure things out. So I jumped into a call. He wasn't very happy, but I gave him the space to speak and communicate, not argue, and just absorb. And once I absorbed everything, I gave him a high-level input. And I want to be very clear that in these situations, what they need are not necessary explanations or excuses. I just want to give context. And I'm like, I take responsibility, but this is the context. I was actually moving the last few days, so it's made me a little bit more removed from a lot of the processes as I would like to be. But as a leader, it is also my responsibility, regardless of whether I did take a step back or not. The end result is still the same. A customer or client wasn't happy, and it's my job to make it up. One, to understand how I can solve it. Two, is an opportunity for us to resolve this and implement a preventative measure moving forward. And absolutely, there was. And so some of the feedback that we got, we had the onboarding call in the meeting. He said the meeting was quite abrupt, quite straight to the point. It was actually my first meeting after 3 days off. So I'm kind of just piecing things together. He went through expectations with the setter. They went through Slack. Communication was very choppy. He sent her 1 or 2 minute looms that took her like 40 minutes to watch and get back. And they wanted the role play and she hadn't gotten back. Now, what I mentioned was I want to understand what the root cause of the problem was. Is it because of the cultural fit? Was it because of who she was? Or was it expectations that we might have set on our side that it's not her official starting day, we're just getting her onboarded? Or the gap itself is that just wasn't clear at all. So that's something that we needed to implement. And so based on that conversation, I absorbed everything. We immediately jumped onto an impromptu meeting for the setter placement team between myself, Ryan, Kat, and even Hang. And we started to brain dump everything. So one, I needed to provide the client an update on what we plan to do. I gave an idea of what my initial thoughts were. I told him I just want to get everything. I want to do a review, conduct an internal review of the team to establish where the fault was. It was an expectation, it was a training, it was a development. And that 45-minute call that we had internally was amazing. We went through a lot. And so these are the things that we're going to implement moving forward. So we had version 1, which is the first maybe 5 clients. We would we would put up a job posting and we would interview and do a quick assessment on what we feel like will be a good fit, and then we would place. And then we got some feedback. We came back and we revised the process that they have to do. This assessment they have to pass. And last week, we probably had a similar issue with another client. Wasn't up to the standard that the client was expecting. So we're like, okay, now the messengers will need to go through a 7-day worth of training. Every single day will now have an assessment at the end of the day to make sure that they pass that training. Now, obviously, that's still not enough. So we had to go one layer deeper because obviously there's a standard that had not been met. And even if I felt like the standard was met, we have to be able to show the proof that the standard was met. So moving forward, every time we we place a setter, we're going to do the 7 days worth of assessment. We're going to involve the client, the coach, part of their training. So we send them the training, we send them assessment. And what we're going to do is add another layer to the interview process even before the assessment. So either myself or Hang, we're going to interview them, put our stamp of approval to say that based on these parameters, the speed to engagement, the personality, culture fit, what they say, and test them. As long as they pass, they'll go through the training. Now in the training, they'll be at a cohort with 2 or 3. If we can get 4 during that time, that'll be great. And out of those 4, only 1 person would secure the job. And so we would send the training material, the video, to the coach, 4 of them, and we'll have our analysis on what we think did well, what we think could be improved for each of those, and give them that feedback to the coach so that they are involved in the process. They can choose between one of the 4 that they like, and say they pass all the assessments. We then let the coach choose out of these 4 who do you vibe most with. So for them to meet, get acquainted with each other, interview process, if you will. They can interview all 4 if should they like. They pick one. Once they pick one, we can commence the onboarding process, and then we'll commence the training that marries up the processes that we build for the clients from the ground up, and we start training them. We provide daily training. So that's how we're going to plan to tighten things up and involve the coach part of the process, because feedback we got, well, it's not just the feedback that we got, but the process is we choose what we feel like is a good fit, and then we just kind of get them on board. They don't really have a choice to kind of get to know each other. Sometimes it might be a little bit awkward or a little bit rushed. And so letting them choose would make them responsible and then makes us responsible for the training as well. So long story short here, I feel like I just wanted to share this. Number 1, I don't like hiding. Number 2, I think this is a great opportunity for us to grow. Number 3, how we respond in these moments ultimately determine what our business is going to look like 3, 6, or 12 months' time. And today, when I was going through this, what was really interesting was the thoughts in my mind. I'm like, fuck, there's just so much to do. I'd be so much more focused if I just did one thing. Should I just give this up? I'm like, we just started, we did so well. And this is what success is, man. This is why it's worth, and this is why we get paid the big bucks, because of this. Okay, so very happy based on the game plan. It looks super solid, and we're going to be able to build out a very regimented training protocol that is transparent. The coaches are involved. They can see exactly what goes behind the scenes, which increases the perceived value in what we do, but ultimately provides a better experience because we actually create better setters as well. And we're in the process of building these onboarding modules for the setters themselves to set clear expectations on what is required. We want to make them dance through hoops. The goal is for us to be able to select the best of the crap, the creme de la creme of all these setters, and give them world-class training so that we can stamp our name and be very happy and be very proud that this is the standard that we are able to operate at. And so, recap, I have to get to the gym. I just wanted to show on live to share with you something that was on top of my mind right now, but how you guys respond during the moments where you receive feedback is going to determine your long-term growth. Are you someone that gets defensive with the feedback that you get? You don't like to listen and you feel unjustified, if that's a word, where you hear like you're putting in all this work and people don't recognize it. Ultimately, it doesn't matter how much work that you put in. This is a professional business. What matters is the output. Did the client get what they expect? At the moment of sale, there was a promise that was made, and there's an equivalent exchange in value where I'm willing to sacrifice some of my financial resources for a promise based on what you share. People feel good. And if anyone feels anything less than 100% in that interaction, that's our responsibility. We have to make up for it. And so what we've done is we've given them the project period, which is 4 months. Anything happens to that messenger within those 4 months, we replace. We've extended that to 6. And we're also going to pay for the first month worth of commissions for that setter as well, just as a means to make up for it. Because this gentleman that has given me this feedback, although he was a little bit upset at the start, he is the reason why we're going to be so successful, because of him and the feedback we got and the opportunity he's given us to make it up to him. We're going to improve it for everyone else moving forward as well. I want to share that with you guys. It's not about being perfect or having a perfect process or a system before bringing it to market. It's actually just getting to market as soon as possible. And in tech, it's got an MVP. It's a minimum viable product. It's a product that you can actually bring out as a skeleton and then start to build out the features from there so you can get something out, get that feedback. So for you to become successful, it's actually a feedback loop, which is implement, get feedback, and then iterate. Implement, feedback, iterate. If you do this at a long enough time horizon, there's no reason why your business can't be successful. The problem there with that feedback loop is most people don't like accepting feedback. They don't iterate and they don't implement, and they do the exact same thing, thinking that other people are the problem, when in reality, everything is our problem. That is it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys are going to be enjoying the new YouTube that will be coming out. I'd like to hear your feedback. I think it's going to be quite enjoyable seeing, I wish growing up, I would have had the opportunity or be privy to someone's up and coming, building their business from the ground up, being transparent with every single step. That's what I plan to do. Anyway, guys, got to get to the gym. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.